Yo, what
Yo,
up?
what's up?
What's
Back
going
at it.
on, man?
Ain't nothing, back at it again.
We here this evening. The name of this podcast is General Thoughts,
For sure.
but this evening we got some particular thoughts.
Right.
It's a lot going on in the country, and one of the things that's affecting us most is the election, right?
Right.
And it's a lot of mixed feelings out there. One of the most Googled things today is, can I change my vote?
Right. And you know what states those are coming from, right?
Nah, which states exactly? What the algorithms is
Your
telling us?
state. Your state that you currently in right now. One of the battleground states, one of the deciding factors.
The
Seventy
swing
percent
state of
Dominican.
Pennsylvania.
Right.
The
70
swing state of
70%. Yeah, the state of Pennsylvania is where some of those queries is coming from. North Carolina, another state that is coming from.
Michigan.
Michigan, yeah, yeah, all those reds, a couple of those red states, and all of those battleground states was
Yeah,
the place where those people are now deciding that they want to take that vote back and swing it over to the other side, which is too late.
that's just not how it works.
No backsies, no backsies on
Uh,
those. Nah,
you feel like the Democrats dropped the ball?
absolutely, absolutely. They've been dropping the ball. They've been winning these things by the skin of their teeth for the longest, right? They they have this time they was late to the game and they thought they were going to win this. What happened?
None. I'm listening,
Yeah.
man.
This time they was late to the game and they thought they was going to get this pinch hitter to take it over because she was a woman of color.
Right,
Also, she was a woman, so they
right,
felt like that was enough to sway the two biggest voters, which are people of color and women.
right, right.
But she wasn't
Well,
prepared.
and she wasn't Michelle Obama.
No, absolutely not. She wasn't her, or she wasn't Oprah. I think maybe if Oprah came in this late, she might have had a better chance than her.
Right. Do you think a lot of people felt like, well, Trump in 2020 he got 10% of the black male vote
Right,
here in Pennsylvania, the battleground state of Pennsylvania,
right,
and he damn near tripled that number, right?
right.
So that's an asterisk. No one's done that. No Republican nominee has done that. Presidential nominee has done that in 40 years. You know,
Right.
and do you feel like a lot of people just felt like they rather vote for someone that they deemed that had been a victim to the criminal justice system,
I
um,
think, yeah,
versus
yeah.
voting for a
Mhm.
prosecutor, a career prosecutor?
I think that it's a comp. It's not just one thing that you could just set your finger on and say that that's the main reason. I think that it's a amalgamation of different things. I think that that is something. So for the base level thinkers that would just think, oh, I relate to him because he been wrong or he claims he's been wronged by the justice system, just like me. He fighting for his freedom, and I feel like once he get in there, he gonna probably make some changes that can help me out or that's gonna benefit people like us. Um,
Right.
then for so long, the black community has fantasized about Trump. Even after he's taken out 5-page ads and billboards saying that bring back the death penalty on the Central Park Five, we have still romanticized and call ourselves the Black Trump. I'm Donald Trump. You know, rappers in the black community have, you know, idolized him for a long time.
One of the things that stuck out to me with the Central Park Five,
Right.
their prosecution, their persecution,
Mhm.
Donald Trump, calling for the death penalty for these guys was they were never even charged with murder.
Right.
So you only call on the death penalty when someone's charged with murder.
Right. Right. So
They were never even charged with murder. So that was something that I always thought about. Like,
right.
this is you to be qualified for death, it has to be
Right.
a first degree murder.
So the other thing that I want to say about that is that think about it. For you to say bring back the death penalty for something that's not warranting the death penalty, you have hatred for the people that have committed or alleged to have committed that crime. You want them out of here. You don't even want them to get a second chance. You don't even want to find out if they're innocent. Because at that time they weren't even out on trial yet. They were just starting the trial. They were just starting all of those things. They weren't
I
on
think they
even
was in pre-trial. They was probably in the
right.
pre-trial phases,
Right.
right?
So that's what I'm saying. So for you to say that, that showed that he had some kind of like disdain for them, right?
Right,
And that's one of those things where, like, if a white woman sheds a tear,
right,
somebody black might have to go down for that shit, whether he had
right.
something to do with it or not. And that's
Yeah, right. What was
they one of the most revered people on planet Earth is like a white woman crying, so in distress, so
mm,
I feel like I feel like I just feel like he don't have black people's interest in the best. But we've been dependent on the Democrats so long to do us right because they claim
right,
they would,
right, right.
but they haven't. So it's like, how long you gonna keep staying with that abusive person that's just gonna be like, I ain't gonna hit you no more. I ain't gonna do this to you no more. And you just gonna keep
And
going, when somebody over here
you
saying, yo, I treat you better than that. You deserve better than
right,
that. You know what I mean? So you're like, let me
right.
see what this dude talking about. And now when you
Yeah,
go over there, you see that guy's just as bad as the as the person you was dealing with. It's you figure it's the lesser of two evils to stay where you at. You know what I mean?
right.
And I
But
yeah,
so many people turned their back on the Democratic Party.
yeah, because they're
Is
not
this it? Is this the?
the
Is this Malcolm X made a famous statement. He said, the Democrats and the Republicans are both from the same K9 family. One's a fox, one's a wolf,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And did you ever imagine, like, at this time, at this place in the world, that the Democrats would turn their backs on, the voters would turn their backs on the Democrats like
Yeah,
this?
yeah, I feel like that was what was happening. I feel like the whole world, when Obama got voted in, I feel like the whole world had a disdain for the whole entire government system, is which why they put Obama in there, right? Why people were so eager on both sides to vote for Obama, because he was something different. He was something different. He was smooth. He was, charismatic. He didn't represent the regular plain Jane talking of the Democrats. He wasn't a uptight suit, red tie wearing Republican. He was kind of like the
Right,
the neutral, like a middle party. You know what I mean? Like, you vote for him, he's like, he gonna make some changes. He gave
right,
his campaign hope. He gave hope.
right. One of the things that I pay close attention to, and I could be wrong, um,
Right,
but the First Step Act
right,
was a criminal justice piece of legislation that was filed, that was passed, that allowed for a lot of minorities that have been sentenced to die in prison to be free, to be resentenced. How much of an impact do you think that had? Like, were these people, that were influential in order to get a sentence like that? You had to be making some noise. You had to be somebody, right? You
Right.
had to be getting some money, getting to the bag. You know, how much of that you think played a role in, or were they? Do you think these men and women were possibly surrogates that was saying, "Hey guys, vote for Trump,
I feel I
take
feel
females, bait."
I feel like that was like a un like a side effect to what he really wanted, right? I feel like all the people that he had put in his cabinet and he had gotten in there had gotten felony federal charges, right? And I feel like he did that move to help them out, not to help us out. It was we've been in there, those people that have benefited from that have been in there for decades. They didn't
That's
care.
true.
They didn't care about those people. The first act thing came up slightly after he figured out that a lot of his people, for helping him with the way he ran his government, were going to get those federal charges, and it was like a, a reverse card or like a ace up the sleeve. You know what I mean? Like he was like, "Yo, this is like a thing," and it just so happened that because it's federal charges, a lot of our people or our street legends fell under that umbrella. It was just like it wasn't. It was a happy side
So
effect.
you don't think for a moment that some of those street legends was probably, you know,
So it's like
campaigning for him?
yeah. So it's
Because
like
I'm looking at it like this, man. I'm looking at the news and I'm seeing Kamala Harris in barbershops,
right,
uh, you know, all over the East Coast.
mhm,
And then I'm seeing dudes that look like you,
right,
shaping motherfuckers up. I'm seeing dudes that resemble me,
right,
saying, yo, I don't know which way I'm gonna go yet. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And there seem to be some uncomfortability with
Right. It's a lot of things that went on with that. And I feel like yeah, they probably were after they benefited from something from a trickle down effect. They benefited from that. Yeah, you're gonna say that. I felt that he laid those
right,
seeds with Kodak Black and Little Wayne and all of those people that he
right,
pardoned. And then he's laid those. He's like, yo, listen, for my next term, I'm gonna need these people. So let me do these little things. These people ain't
right.
9/11 planners.
Strategy,
Right, it's strategy.
strategy.
Yeah, I'll give you a
If
little
y'all
bit.
don't
I
want the
sprinkle
wolves,
that on there. I sprinkle you
if
with
y'all
some of
don't
this.
want the wolves,
Right,
if y'all don't want the wolves, I'll feed them. Let me have them, huh?
right. I'll sprinkle a little bit on here. Y'all people that's supposed to be for your people. You got this guy, Little Wayne. He's one of y'all top stars. He's one of y'all biggest, brightest stars. Why y'all not helping him out? I'll help him out. He'll bring those people over there support him heavily, which is why he only did it for rappers, people that had influence, which is why and made it public. Now I'm not saying that other people think he didn't do it for them, but he did it for the ones that will bring the voters with him, which is the Little
But
Wayne's
the but
demographic.
those but those but those rappers, they mingle with the street legends.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's just a side effect. They know what we love. We
Right,
fantasize the street legends. We romanticize criminality, right? That gets our
why?
blood.
Why though? When you say that, you got to tell the people why. The reason why is because at a very young age, when we looking out our window, we see it.
Right,
You walk out your building, you walk into organized crime.
right.
At 10 years old, you looking
And
around, you
also,
see it, you see
yeah,
the block boss, you see the lieutenant, you see the
right,
lookout, you see success, you see
right,
winning, you see the
and-
only people that's getting ahead is the street dudes.
right.
So you tend to glorify that, but don't glorify this life.
Nope, absolutely you
You
shouldn't.
know what I'm
And
saying?
and the thing is, it's been a constant. It's been a constant in our history that we have done that. You know,
Right,
we went from
right,
worshiping kings and gods to worshiping the warrior and the people that go out and take shit. Right. So,
right.
and we did that because those were the people that kind of like saved us from when the other people the Europeans tried to come and take. You worship those other people. Now that gets corrupted, and somebody is like, "Yo, I'm tougher than this dude." Let me go out.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to do it. And they go out and they go, and then they turn that warrior spirit into something that's corrupted, you know, and because they want that love that warrior got for fighting for the people, but they want the spoils of taking and not giving back to who you took from. You know what I mean? So it's I mean it's a bittersweet thing, right? And our communities have been plagued by it for a long time, you know, and it's going to take a long time to phase that out.
All right. Since we on the topic of street legends, I feel like this is a great time to mention a street legend that's close to me. One of my heroes go by the name of Lozo, aka Cat Lorenzo Johnson. We met many years ago. We was locked up at this camp called SCI Mahanoy in Pennsylvania, and we had known of each other prior to landing on the same compound. Prior to my wrongful conviction, he was wrongfully convicted of first-degree murder. One of his big bros was in the lockdown with me in York County. I had just came from Rikers Island, and I had ran into him. He kept telling me, man, if they offer you a deal, take the deal. If they just booked two of my little mans and shit for first-degree murder, and they ain't do it. So he was mentioning Cat, told me about Cat. And I get upstate, I get convicted, I don't take his advice, I get convicted. Uh, I land up north, I land upstate, it's called up top out here in PA. And I'm hoping to run into to Cat, aka Lozo. And we finally did connect. It took some years before we connected, though. I remember being in my cell. I don't know if I was working on a new novel, putting a parlay together, or probably reading the case law. I don't remember, but somebody had pulled up, knocked on the door, was like, "Yo, Cat here, pull up, man." He said, "Pull up." So of course he knew who I was, and I knew who he was, but we had never formally met. Then we formally meet. So like mid 2000s. Um, he's out there. He got the brown, crispy browns on, white with the brown check, Air Force Ones, aka Uptowns. He got the link on his neck, cornrows, chin strap like he was part of the G unit. And I pull up. So somebody tell you to pull up, first of all, jail. It ain't gonna sound like something you expect thinking to pull up. You know what I mean? 'Cause I ain't pulling up for just anybody. Especially at that time of my life, I just ain't pulling up for anybody, man. So I was going through a lot. I probably had almost like 10 years in. Uh, but we got tight. Got tight. We had countless meetings of the minds. We was on the same page. Once we linked up, we never left each other's side. Till I had got caught up in some jailhouse politics. It had split us up. But we remained in tune with each other. And in 2012, he overturned his sentence, his life sentence, and he was, given the ability to be free again. This is what makes my son like a real super wild legend. Because it's not easy to overturn conviction, especially life sentences. Man, it takes extraordinary work. Six special people get involved with your life and your life. Take people that are tacticians and experts at what they do, lawyers, investigators, media personalities, investigative reporters. Um, he was blessed to get out. As soon as he got out, he had blessed me with some flicks, So he was lit. He was back in Yonkers. I was happy for him. 5 months later, his appeal was first of all, the government appealed his victory. And the United States Supreme Court reinstated his life sentence. Said that Third Circuit acted as 13 jurors to reach the conclusion that they reached, granting him relief. My son could have took off, man, into another country, got low, and dipping back alleys or whatever. And when he got that call from his lawyer saying, "Yo, Zoe, man, turn yourself in. We still got to fight. There's still a fight to be had. If you don't, catch you right next week." My son turned himself in. He turned himself into criticism, ridicule, the unknowing, the uncertain, but believing that he would be free again. He believed in things he couldn't see with conviction in his heart. He had people who believed in him. I was one of them. I had to check mad niggas, you know, trying to say my son was an idiot for coming back, who would do that. And he said that he had one of the meanest legal teams in the country. They got him out again. And for that, he's legendary. I consider him one of the forefathers of the Get Free movement here in Pennsylvania and in the country. He ain't do it once, he did it twice. He believed that he would be victorious twice. It took 2 times. Uh, he made the right decision. He wasn't just thinking about himself. This is what he wrote me in the letter. 2013. He wasn't just thinking about himself. He turned himself into a life thinking about everybody. Anybody that looked like him, that was going through what he was going through, that came from where he felt from. That's legendary shit. Uh, I was able to ask the lawyer who represented him both times, like, where was your mom? How did you feel? I got his side. I got Zoe's side. I had enough to put this thing together to be able to make this permanent factor that he, Lorenzo Johnson, aka Lozo, is the leader of the freedom fighters, man. He's the lead. He should be the leader of the free world when it comes to this shit. I just want to give him his flowers, man. We talked about street legends and being free from prosecutions, fictions, at the behest of the 45th president, soon to be the 47th president, and his First Step Act. This was a whole different fight. I got my fighting skills from this dude. So salute to my chief. Put some respect on his name. But this is the General Thoughts podcast. I plan on having Zoe up here for y'all. If y'all want to talk to him, I want him to be able to, fill in any blanks. I mean, try to follow us on IG, follow us on YouTube. Don't just like, but subscribe. Um, I still remain wrongfully convicted right now, but I'm working. I'm grinding. My new book will be out. Got some brilliant lawyers. The same lawyers that got Lorenzo out. The same lawyers that's fighting for me to be released from prison. We had great hands, man. But this brother, he looked back. He want to put other people in a position to be successful too. As long as you got time to work with, man. You want to any last thoughts? Peace.